So you want your clients and prospects to easily pay you 10K or more for your coaching services and not have any objections or just gladly fork over the money. I'm going to tell you two essentials that you need for people to gladly do that, and ask you to pay even more as you go through in 6 months time or 12 months time when they're ready to renew. So if this is the first time joining one of my lives, I'm Brian Czekanski, and I help coaches in particular 10x their high ticket coaching program. And again, really it comes back to kind of two key things that you're able to convey to your prospects, to your leads, even before they jump on a sales call with you, or in my case, even before they have that one-to-one sales conversation via email or DMs, or even using things like direct mail. So the two things that I'll go through today, number one is what's clearly different about your process that is out there. And the other thing is like what's missing from all the other options that are out there. So let's break it down in terms of those two key things. We'll do it really quickly. So number one, it's kind of like let's take what's missing. So as you look at the purview of all your other competitors that are out there, conventional wisdom of anytime somebody has the specific problem that you solve, like what is that conventional wisdom? What is society telling them? What is all the advertisements telling them as the best solution in terms of that? And how can you kind of poke holes in all those things that, like if they want to solve this problem, like what's missing in that clear path? And maybe it's a current plan, maybe they're considering it, maybe they're going through it right now, but you have to be able to kind of knock down that conventional wisdom, what everybody else is doing. We want to start to poke holes in that and let them know that, okay, maybe something's missing here. And there's several ways that you can do that. You can bring forward a problem that they didn't even know existed. You can talk about how their approach is flawed and how you have a faster, easier, simpler approach that can get them results even quicker. Another approach would be like, in most approaches, there's kind of the side effects or things that people hate about them. So how can you talk about how you can get them results that they're looking for without having to do all that stuff that they hate along the way in doing that? So again, how do you think of like, okay, everything that's out there, what is clearly missing from that to get to that benefit that they're looking from the most? And that kind of connects to like, what's different about your process? How can we kind of create a paradigm shift for your audience and saying like, hey, this is clearly different, differentiated, and it's a much easier, simpler, more well-defined path that's going to get me to where I want to be. In a way, again, getting there quicker is a big part of the benefit, but how can we make this a more sustainable journey that they can do? Again, if we use the example of weight loss, how can they lose the weight and keep it off for life without having to give up their favorite foods or count calories or all that stuff that they hate? How have you created an approach that makes sense for them for the long term and gets them long-term benefits? And how can you talk about a different path that, again, if you can bring up a problem that they didn't know existed, one of the key parts of your approach might be just like, okay, we are focused on this one problem that you didn't even know existed. Our program is specifically targeted for this program. Once we knock down that problem that you didn't know existed, we can get you faster, easier, quicker results in that way. So again, being able to kind of differentiate what's missing from what they're maybe even currently trying right now, or what's conventional wisdom, or what are your other competitors doing along the way. And again, here's where you have to do some research. You have to kind of put on your prospect hat and figure out like, okay, like what are all those things that they are considering? What are they hearing from my competitors? And the only way to kind of really describe what's missing is you have to know what people are currently offering. What is everybody else in the world saying? And how can you not just echo the same, if you're just echoing the same thing that everybody else is saying, you're not going to be able to charge 10K or more for your coaching program because you've made yourself a commodity, whether you know it or not. So again, that kind of gets to like what's different. So again, taking your competitors, what are they doing? How can I clearly differentiate it? Make my approach just a no-brainer type of offer. Like I have considered all those other approaches that are out there, and I have designed an approach that, again, the speed of it, the cost of it in terms of that return on investment. So they might have to spend 10, 20, 30K for your offer. But if you can get them to that heaven island that they're looking for in terms of getting away from the problem that they have now, or just that dream life that they want the most, that might be like in terms of that return on investment, might be a great investment along the way. So really think about those two essentials. If you're able to, and we'll dig into it a little bit more with some, I'll provide some breakdowns and things like that, how people are doing it across various different niches to describe what's missing and what's different, and how they're getting people to the path that they want the most, easier and quicker. And they're charging, in some instances 25, 30, and 30K plus for their services. And people are happy to give away that money because there's just no other offers like it. Like they have clearly established themselves in the industry through their marketing, through their sales conversations, as the superior offer, and looking at any other solution doesn't make sense. So people are happy to pay that amount of money without objection, without a bunch of questions, without haggling about how expensive it is, all those kind of things, because again, they've answered those two essentials: what's different, what's missing, and they've done a great job in terms of marketing and bringing that through in their marketing and their sales conversations along the way. So keep that in mind, especially as you're looking at your business and kind of answering those two questions. And if you're not able to answer those two questions, or you're not sure what your competitors are saying to your prospects, that's when you probably don't have that ability to charge 10K or more for your services. But when you do, that's when you can continue moving up your price. You can be a leader in the industry, and that's where your market share is going to grow pretty significantly. And you're going to be almost a market of one, because all the other offers that are out there are going to look vastly deficient and less superior to what you're looking for. And it would, unless they just don't have the resources, don't have the ability to get those resources, it doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. So keep those two in mind as you look at your marketing, look at your sales conversations. If this was helpful, hit that like button on whatever platform you're watching on. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Always talking about ways to charge more and more for your hard ticket sales programs, whether you're a coach or expert. Let me know in the comments below what's clearly different about your program and what's missing from all those other programs or plans that your prospects might be considering right now. And if you don't know, hey, do the research. Let me know in the comments below, and happy to kind of brainstorm some ideas of what that might look like for you. With that, I'll see you in a future live.